everybody, this is Michelle with Stampin' Butterfly. I am coming to you tonight with our new January 2022 paper pumpkin kit and wanted to go ahead and share that kit with you as well as some alternatives that I've been working on. I hope you guys are having a good week and let's take a quick look. Okay. So our monthly kit of paper pumpkin is a subscription and it comes out every month. And this past month, which we're still in January, but the kit comes out, ships around the 10th. This one was a little bit late for some people due to some shipping issues, but I think they're all starting to make their way around. So it's called Kisses and Hugs, and it is Valentine and love themed. And then this month we also had an add-on, so I'll share you some information on that. Wanted to make sure if you guys are out there, hey Hannah, I can see you're there. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you can hear me. Let's see. So this is the instructions that comes with it. Please let me know if you can hear me actually. Let me just take a second since I'm streaming a little different today. And I think I'm in the right place. So hopefully you guys are seeing me on my Stampin' Butterfly page. Anyway, let's see. I can see your comments, so that's a plus. All right, well, let's keep on moving. We have the kit, and then like I said, this month has some add-ons. So normally you would subscribe, and then, oh good, you can hear me, perfect. Wanted to make sure I wasn't just talking to myself, so yay. Okay, so your monthly kit comes in your little subscription box, and like I said, this one's the January kit, and once in a while they'll give us a little add-on bonus. So this month they actually do, and this you order in our store, so it's a little bit different. So the website at the top of the screen is where you can order this add-on kit. And it's super cute. It coordinates with this month's kit. It comes with 20 treat boxes and some tags, and we'll make a little box from this as well. So we'll make that. I'm going to show you how to assemble the cards in the kit, what comes in your kit, and then I made some alternatives to give you some ideas of what else you can do with your kit if you wanted to try some additional things. So this month's ink spot, every month you get an ink color. We have gray granite, and I'm going to use my big stamp pad, but they do give you a little mini. You receive an exclusive stamp set each month. Now some of mine are already pulled off and on the blocks because we're going to use them. But cute sentiments in here: love you, for you, friend, sending you love, more. It's got some XOs and then an outline of a heart, as well as a solid heart, and then some other little dots and images. And I'll show you some of my card ideas with those. Then they also have some pretty embellishments and little mini glue dots in there for us. They give us all our pieces die cut. I think this month there's a few extra, might be of the gold hearts, or these. I think there were some extra gold hearts in this kit. So usually you'll find there's a few extra embellishments that you can use on other cards, and then you can also use them for different projects you want. So this kit comes with 10 cards. You'll get 5 of each. These cream vanilla colored hearts, and then the pink ones as well. And these are Blushing Bride. Our other coordinating color in this kit is the Flirty Flamingo, which is this brighter pink color. And then they've given us some vellum hearts, some little glue dots you can use to glue your pieces together. Or if you're a liquid glue or a snail fan, you can use those as well. Some more, you can see I already punched out some of these. And then some vellum. We've got some of our gold embellished hearts. And then the envelopes are gorgeous on this. They have a gold foil on the inside and a sheen to them. And then the envelopes on the outside of the Flirty Flamingo. So let me know if you have questions on the kit along the way. The subscription is $22 a month, so it mails to your door if you do the monthly subscription. If you order it during celebration, you may want to do a prepaid subscription so that you can earn some free celebration goodies. You can buy like a 3 or a 6 month subscription and then earn, trying to think if it's the 3 or the 6, one of those two, you'll qualify for the $50 celebration items that you can pick from in our catalog. But anyway, let's go ahead and make a card. So we're going to need 1 envelope. I'll set that aside. And let's take a quick look at the instructions. So there's a couple things I wanted to point out that I figured out along the way. So for some reason, when I opened these cards, I thought, oh, this is so cute, they're gonna fold like this. And then I was like, well, wait, they don't fold. Well, it's actually because it kind of folds in the opposite direction, kind of the way it came in the kit. So they're actually gonna be more like an accordion. So they fold up in this direction. And once you follow the instructions, you would figure it out. But when I first popped them open, I was wondering why they didn't close right with that. So I think we'll make, let's see, let's do the pink one. So again, the way it came folded in the kit, it kind of confused me a little bit. So you kind of have to flip them around to get them set up. All right, so we'll start with this one. So when you look at your instructions, there's also a YouTube video that goes along that Stampin' Up! Produces for these, but they have your different detailed instructions on the back. They give you some alternative projects. They show you what's included in your kit, and then your coordinating colors, so you know if you want to make additional projects, what you might want to do. So one thing I did notice, the new instructions, which is kind of cool. So if you're taking this on the go, there's a ruler on the side. So when you have to measure your twine or your string, you don't have to throw a ruler in your box, which I used to have to do. So you've got your ruler on here, so you can measure it. And then something else. So this first panel, so let's go back. So here's the cover. When you first open it, this panel right here gives you a quick summary. So 1, 2, 3 of your 2 cards in your envelope. Then when you open this panel, these are more detailed steps. So if you're trying to assemble what pieces go to what, this first step is great. So let's fold it back. We're going to make this one. So we have our card. Let's move the rest of the bases out of the way. And let's see. So for this one, it says we need one of the square. So we're going to take one of those. No vellum for this one, so we're going to move that aside. No hot pink either. Instead, we need the little arrow. Well, actually not so little, it's pretty big. All right. So we need that. And then the 2 gold hearts. So we will pop these 2 out. At first I thought this was the instruction. So if you start here, this is a great way to get started on if you wanted to lay out all your pieces. So if you were trying to do a quick assembly line, you can pop out all your pieces and lay them on top of the cards to get going. So there we go. And then we're going to need the For You and the Friend stamp. So I think I already put those on some blocks that I had. That's Love You. Okay, so we might have to pull it off of here. There's the Friend. So we'll just pull it off of our stamp set and then put it on an extra block I have floating around and our ink. All right, perfect. So I think we have all the components for this first card. So we'll go ahead and do a little stamping. So if you open up to the next instruction for card number 1, which is the pink one, they tell you you're going to use your ink and you're going to ink up these 2 stamps, and these are the cards they go on. Then it tells you, okay, you put dimensionals on this piece, the dark spots are the glue dots or your adhesive you like, and then it shows you where they go, and then this is like your finished card. So that's kind of how the instructions flow. So let's move those out of our way. Find my big ink pad. So we're going to use gray granite, and I'm just going to use my larger ink pad for now and do a little stamping. So we're only going to stamp on one of the 2 hearts. Ink them up pretty good, and then we will just stamp the Friend on the inside of this one, and then the For You. And always make sure your sentiment's going the right way, so you want to check that it's not upside down. And then that one goes on here. There you go. And that is all the stamping for this card. And now we're just going to assemble. Well, actually, let's do our envelope already. So since we have the ink out. So the envelope, if we flip to the bottom, they tell you to put these little XOs. Not sure 100% if that's good for the postman or not. I don't know if that confuses him. So if you're mailing it, you might want to double check with your post office. But we're going to stamp it across the bottom. If you're not sure, the back flap is probably a better place to put your little XOs, just in case. Since we want to align it with 2 of them, it's always better to start on the right and work backwards. So we are going to take, let's see, I have some blocks. So we'll do the O first. And do the X and the O. Again, we'll just ink them up. Go across the bottom. And then flip back again. That way you know you have enough space. If you started in the direction that you read, you might run out of space for it. So this ensures that you have enough room. I wonder if there's a top or a bottom. I think they look about the same. I was wondering if the X has a better directional or not. All right, so there's our envelope. That one's done. We'll close up our ink pad for now. Move that aside. Let's take a quick look at the finished card. So this is what we're headed towards. So this is the card we're making. And then I'll show you the second card in the kit in a minute. All right, so we flip back to our instructions. I just wanted to do all of our inking first. All right, I'm gonna reflip these instructions and we'll go back here. So the first panel has some dimensionals. So you're gonna take your friend and add some dimensionals on that one. So if you have the larger dimensionals in your crafting stash, you could always use those too. So we're just gonna add these on, peel off our little backings. Ooh, they are sticky. Center it on our card. All right, next we're going to take this and we're gonna put the arrow across the back of it, and they show like a little glue dot on there. Let's see, did I bring my glue dots? My kit glue dots are around, so we're just gonna use one of my big glue dots. And just kind of put that in the center of the arrow. Those are super sticky. And then just center this on it. And again, you can use the glue dots in the kit. I just think I left them on the side. So, all right, there you go. Then we'll flip it over. We're gonna put some dimensionals on here, just like it says on the instructions. So we'll put one at the top of the arrow, the back of the arrow, and then, ooh, those are sticky. One here, and one there. And again, we'll peel off our backings. The X and O, oh, I did I bring those over? I don't think I did. They're similar in size. I think these are a little bigger than the X and O in the Sweet Conversations. That's a good question. I know the die cuts work pretty good because I'm going to show you how to get some extra hearts for the add-on kit if you wanted to change up your heart colors and stuff. So I'll show you how those kind of layer up. And then this one, it says to use the glue dots. So we'll just use a little bit of liquid glue to save time. Oop, I didn't have it facing down the right way. All right, so we're gonna center that one on here. I don't think I brought the other stamp set over. I brought the dies, but I think I do have something stamped in my die box, so we'll take a look. All right, so there's your first completed card. Look how quick those go. So you could have 10 adorable Valentine cards, or if you do some alternatives and chopping up things, which I'll show you in a little bit, then you can get even more cards out of your kit. Plus you have all the stamps and the ink, so you can make any card bases you want with that. So let's take a look. Oh, we didn't put our embellishments. See, forgot those. Let's get our take your pick tool out, and we will take 3 of those. We'll just follow the instructions on these. I'll show you the little change ups I did on some of the other ones last night. My crafting mess I had everywhere. It always gets a little messy when I'm creating, so my desk was a mess, but it's not too bad now. Okay, so see, I gapped that one a little bit different. Close together, further apart. So there's our card. It fits in our little envelope. Let's see, which way does it fit? It fits in there cute. Look how pretty that is. Gorgeous. All right, so this is the second card in the kit. We won't go ahead and make that one. I think it's pretty standard instructions, same kind of thing. You know, you're gonna put your vellum on, you'll stamp on the pink heart and then this white one, and you'll layer them up with the dark pink. So that's how those go. And let's see our little treat boxes. So these are the little add-on boxes. that go with the kit that you can purchase. And I think they're $10 for the little add-on boxes. And they are, let's see, where's my ruler? Actually, there's a ruler right here. So they're just under 2 inches. So they're like maybe 1 3/4 inches. So they're little squares. You could probably fit a nice, I haven't tried to put candy in there. I think I measured it up. You can put some of those little Palmer chocolate hearts in there, like that are pink and gold. You can also fit, I think, one of the little round rochers that are gold, so that would match really pretty. You can also probably put the lint round, you know, those little chocolates with the little ends. Those would probably fit in here cute. So here's another alternative. So this is kind of how it's designed with the little tag and everything. And then here I stacked 2 together, wrapped a little belly band, and then used some of my gold ribbon that I had in my crafting arsenal. And then this time I changed it up to be a purple tag. And you'll see they're just a slightly different heart, and I'll show you that in a second with the Sweet Talk is where I got that heart from. And then this paper is also from that same suite. So let's take a quick look at the add-on. So this is the add-on package. You get your 10 boxes and tags and your pretty gold twine. So that all comes together. We'll put one together real quick. They're super simple. My favorite kind of box. No cutting needed. No measuring. So you just pop out your tag. This time we'll probably just put for you. Let's see, what do we have? Yeah, we have a for you. I think we'll ink that one up this time. So get our ink pad out again and do a quick ink up with that. And the font is really cute on these, and they stamp really nicely. Sorry, I'm a little froggy today. All right, so here's the little box. Everything's all glued together, so you really just have to fold it on your score lines, and then you are good to go. No gluing, no cutting. Like I said, my favorite. All right, so you just fold them all on the score lines. Oh, I'm not even in the camera. That helps if I move it in. All right, fold it on this one on the top, and then just crease it along there. There you go, voila, a box. And then you can just take a length of string. I don't know if it tells you, I don't think it's very specific, but you can make it any length you want. Depends on how good of a bow tire you are and how much space you need. All right. It's always hard to tie things on camera. You could even use a little glue dot and kind of keep that glued down on your lid if you wanted. I found it was easier to make 2 knots on this, so I did that. Oh, I might have done the knot first. That's what I did. Let's do that because it was sliding away on me. I think that flew away. So let's make our knot first. Then we can put this little heart on there, and it works better, at least for me. Everybody's a different skill set in the bow tying department. So I like the one X and then this one. Come on, there we go. I got this extra piece hanging around. Where's my scissors? I need sharper scissors, goodness. All right, and then there you go. There's your cute little tag box. Of course, it'd be good if I hadn't had my bow coming all crazy on me. But now that it's cut, I think I can aim it better. So let's do that. One more try. I think this one will cooperate better with the extra knot on top. Like I said, I'm not the best bow tire, but hey, that's pretty decent. All right, whew, there you go. There is your little add-on box. Now, let's take a quick look at the dies that Hannah was asking about. These are the Sweetheart dies that are in the Sweet Talk bundle. Here we go. See, I do have random things. I keep all my random pieces in with my dies in case I need them. So, don't mind all the mess, but As you can see, this is what I used to make this purple heart right here. And it's pretty close to the one that comes in the kit. You can see it's a slightly different shaped. It's a little bit skinnier heart. Then these are a little bit rounder, but they're almost the same size. And then I just used a little hole punch to punch it in there. So then you can make any colored heart you want. You could even use one of these tags. They're a little bit big though. You can change up the sizes. So this gives you lots of versatility. And then let's compare the X's and the O's. So this Sweet Talk stamp set does have X's and O's as well, but as you can see, the Paper Pumpkin one is much bigger. And it has a fancy font, and then this is more like whimsical, like handwritten. So these are, you know, these are even good for wedding, or, you know, they've just got fancier stuff on them. So they are definitely bigger. All right, the other suite that works really nicely with this is the Love and Happiness bundle. And the dies in this stamp set, again, I keep all my extra scraps in here. You'll see this has hearts as well. So this one's a stitched heart, and you could do your tag in that one as well. It's a little bit smaller. Well, no, it's almost the same. It's just a smidge smaller. Oh, here you go. I have one cut already. So definitely smaller than that one, a little bit smaller, and again, a little bit different shaped heart, but that would work just as well. And then there's also some cool flowers. You can even add some flowers to your hearts if you wanted. When I show you some of my samples, you'll see that I used this embossing folder that comes with it. There's some pretty flowers in here, and I embossed some of my alternative cards. So let me give you a quick look at those. And let's see, we'll move some of these guys away. These are the original cards as they were done per the kit. And the kit is just a starting point, so if you don't want to follow those directions, you are always welcome to change it to however you like. So again, these are the cards, you know, as the kit is designed. And then here's another one I changed up slightly. So you can see I kind of combined some elements from one card and did it a little different, did my arrow at a diagonal. And then for this one, the vellum here, I just took it and I ran it through that embossing folder I just showed you from Love and Happiness. And I used a blending brush and some Flirty Flamingo ink to kind of ink it up. And a little scrap of paper I had to make a new tag. So there's another alternative. Let's see, which one do we want to look at next? Okay, so let's look at these two together. So this one I made with the Abstract Beauty paper. So this is a 4x6 piece of paper. It's a different DSP pack than we've had before. Normally they're either 6x6 or 12x12. So this one actually comes 4x6, which is awesome with our Memories and More card packs. So those are actually two sizes. Let's see if I can find them. So they come in like a mixed bag. So you get 40, which is I think 20 cards of each size. And they come in two sizes, and you'll see these are a little bit bigger than our standard card size. And then they come with these little mini cards as well. Where's the card base? Here we go. So here's the mini card base. And what is super cool about this is if you cut the DSP, the 4x6 in half, it fits with your 1/4 inch border on here. So they make really fast cards, so they're my favorite. So that's what I did for this. Card base came out of Memories and More. I took the heart off of here, trimmed, you know, a little bit off. You can see I've got some of it trimmed off. And then I added in a die cut heart from that Sweet Talk and some gold ribbon that I had. And it picks up the gold elements on here really pretty. So then you have a larger card. Now if you compare that with a standard size card base, which is another card I made, you'll see, you know, it's a little bit bigger. So smaller than a 5x7, but holds a 4x6 card. This is another alternative I made. And again, I took the arrow and it wasn't long enough. So I cut the arrow in half and then put one on each end. And then stamped on that pink one. Added our gray granite ribbon from the annual catalog. And then this piece of paper is actually the envelope. So what I did is I just ran my bone folder under here because the whole envelope, yeah, you can see that. The whole envelope has beautiful gold paper. So I just popped off the edges and I trimmed off the flaps and I used that as my card base. And it leaves you lots of extra pieces. So I still have another strip from that envelope that I can make another card with. And then I also used a piece here. So look, I can get at least 3 cards out of one envelope. And this is another alternative I did where I layered that piece of the envelope. I actually used some blending brushes to give it some pink. And then I embossed with my Love and Happiness die and embossing folder. The I think it's called our Champagne specialty paper. And if you look, it's kind of shiny. So it picks up some really pretty colors. I love how that looks. And then again, these are those little scraps when you're trimming your 5 1/4 by 4 paper. You always have those little edges and that whole bucket of weird random paper. Those work perfect for your labels. All right, so what happened to the other piece of my hearts right here? So you're saying, what happened to those guys? I made a mini card out of those. So what I did for this is there's that gold ribbon again from the annual catalog. Use some of the other stamps in our set. So these are all still in the set that came with it. And instead, I made just a little card that opens up and took the pink. Where is it? One of these has a pink. There we go. So I took this extra pink from our kit and I embossed it through that same embossing folder. I put this little flap and it's just like a little peekaboo. And the reason I did this is because if you look, this is a rounded heart and then this one was a little flat on the edge and it bugged me to have a round and a flat heart. So I made this like a little flap. So if you look here, I just squared it off and it made it like a little peekaboo. So there was a reason to have the flat side of your heart. So you can put that on there. Anyway, I think that's my favorite one of those. And I think that is all the alternatives that I put together. So the kit, like I said, Paper Pumpkin always comes with beautiful ideas and things, but you can always change it to whichever you like. The other idea you can do, which I brought some paper with me to kind of show you. Let's move some stuff out of the way. You can also use your extra elements. So let's move all these guys out of the way. And where is my box? So let's bring our box back again. As crafters, we never throw anything out. So you could use this as a stencil. And let's see, I think I have one that's totally empty. At the bottom, here we go. So you could use any of these as a stencil. So let's just use this, we'll use this one for now. So what I mean by that is you can trace this onto your piece of paper and then you can cut out more hearts, or if you have a scan and cut, you can trace it and then the scan and cut can cut it out for you. You can fussy cut it with scissors, or you can use your blending brush. Let's see, I'll show you how to do that. Let's get some washi tape. So we're going to use a little washi tape. You can use painter's tape. Try to de-stick it a little. I think I've pulled extra dog hair. Sorry about that. All right, we use that to kind of hold it down a little bit in case my hand slips. And you can use that as a stencil. So we're going to ink up our blending brush, go off the paper a little, and then just color it up. I think we can put more on there. Maybe I should have picked Flirty Flamingo. It'd come out faster and darker. Blushing Bride's a very light color, so maybe we'll just go full bore on there. Go straight to paper and go wild. But when I did the vellum, I think I used the Flirty Flamingo because it gave it a brighter look. I started with the Blushing Bride and then switched over. So if you have a favorite alternative, let me know which one you liked. And I'd be curious to know which one was your favorite. I like that little peekaboo card. But it was also fun doing the blending brush one with that champagne paper. It's so pretty. All right. Let's peek and see. All right, perfect. So you could do this all the way across your card. Look at that. You have a whole new heart. So you can use these as a bunch of stencils. So there's so much life in your kits each month. There's so many different fun things you can do, and you can go wild with them. Or you can do them exactly as the kit shows, which is still awesome too. So we could cut this with our scissors. We can cut it in a square and use this as a card front. So let's just pretend like this is an empty card. We can cut that in a square. Actually, we can just trim it here. Maybe we want to emboss like some leaves on one side. You know, we can pop up sentiment on there. Maybe we want to add some of this gold trim, so you could always do that across there. Maybe cut that in a square. And there's always lots of different options. So let's take a quick look at our samples again. And I'll take a quick peek at the comments, see if anybody has any other questions. We got the X's and O's answered. All right, so here are our alternatives, kind of a tongue twister. There's our envelope, some of the regular kit as designed, and then a little bit of the alternative ones. So you can use them as hearts, you can use them as card fronts, and like I think this is, I don't know, it's a tie. Which one's my favorite? I do love this shimmer paper. It ties in gorgeous with this kit. And then of course we have our cute little boxes. So we have this double stacked box for your favorite friend who gets double treats, or the single treats. This one I stamped in black, in case you're wondering why it's darker. So the first one I had done as my sample, I stamped it in black ink, and then this one's gray granite. It's a little more subtle, so you can always pick what colors you like. So that is our kit for this month. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did order it, hopefully yours is on the way and it should be arriving soon. Next month we had a sneak peek, and it is safari, wild, and fun theme, so I think it's going to be super cute. Maybe some monkeys and hippos and some fun colors, so I'll be posting some samples of that soon. If you have any questions, let me know, or if you're interested in a Paper Pumpkin subscription, there are links on my website. And then you can also buy the add-on kits at the store at the top. That's like my landing page, so you can get to anywhere from there at my stampinbutterfly.stampinup.net. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining me.